how do we get people to understand that physical therapy is a better first option? And I asked her this, and she was like, we have to change our culture around pain and injury. And so in order to change our culture around pain and injury, the only way I know I can do that, besides one person at a time in my clinic, is helping you reach one person. So if all 55,000 physical therapists I aim to help can reach one person a week, then I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get that goal soon. Hey, what's up? It's Aaron LeBauer, and welcome back to the Cash PT Lunch Hour. Today's episode is a special episode, and I want to share with you some insights and help you create a game plan for 2021. And this is something that I did for a exclusive group of physical therapy business owners a few weeks ago, and my Platinum Mastermind group. And it was so helpful to them, I decided that I wanted to make this available to everyone through the podcast. So in this podcast episode, you're going to learn how to 10x your business and buy back your time in 2021. So here's the thing. If you want 2021 to be different than 2020, you need to do some different things. You have to think different, you have to act different, and you have to play this game of business different. You just have to, you got to do it different, because what was it, Albert Einstein, that said the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So on today's episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you everything I got in the time that we have so that you can build a game plan for 2021 to grow your business, to help thousands of people, and to make a massive impact in the world. Because again, people are still out there getting surgery and injections because they think it's going to work. There was someone recently in one of these local groups. I don't know if it was a mom's group or an athlete's group or something. It was like, hurt my knee, and there were 100 comments. And I was just talking about this with Caitlin. There was 100 comments. 3 of them said physical therapy. Everyone else is like, go see my surgeon, go see my ortho, go see. And it's just like, how do we get people to understand that physical therapy is a better first option? And I asked her this, and she was like, we have to change our culture around pain and injury. And so in order to change our culture around pain and injury, the only way I know I can do that, besides one person at a time in my clinic, is helping you reach one person. So if all 55,000 physical therapists I aim to help can reach one person a week, then I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get that goal. So if you can get on board with that, I want to know, and this is the episode for you. So what I'm going to cover in this episode today are the 3 keys to massive success. We're going to go over the 4 stages of business, and especially physical therapy business, but 4 stages of business. And we're going to go through 8 core strategies to 10x your business, including how to get new patients in the door. And we're going to build out a 90-day game plan. And then I'm going to share with you what's next, the next steps. So like I said, my promise for this podcast is to give you everything I can in the time that we have. And then if you'd like to work together or get some more information or get more help from me, what I'll do is at the end, I'll just show you exactly where to go to get it. And then, at every episode, there's generally some information about how to find us. You can find us in the Cash PT Nation. You can find me over on Aaron LeBauer on Instagram. All you got to do is DM me, even just DM me podcast, and let me know. And my goal is to see how we can help you in the best way possible, conquer your dreams and change the world that we live in. So I got a promise I want you to make me. This is your promise as a listener of the podcast. I want you to promise me to be quick to take action. If you can do that, just say yes. Do you promise to be quick to take action? Just say it out loud. Say yes. Okay. Yes. Do you promise to be quick to ask for help when you need it? Yes. Say it. Yes, I promise to be quick to ask for help, because I ask for help. I have a coach. I have a business coach, and I belong to a mastermind group. And I guarantee you I pay more for my coaching than most people earn in a whole year in cash practice. So do you promise to be quick to ask for help when you need it? And even if you don't want to pay for it, you can still get help in places like the Cash PT Nation. The third thing I want you to promise, and I don't really want you to care if you promise it to me, I want you to promise this to yourself. I'll be quick to share my wins and lessons. Okay, because what good is this whole world if we can't celebrate our success and talk about the things that we learn with someone else who's on this journey with us? So if you can promise me those three things, I'd love for you to just shoot me a message on a DM on Instagram, say, Aaron, yes, like all capitals, like I'm a yes. Because these are the three keys to success. So the three things that tie the most successful business owners that I know together are this. And this includes people like Julie Lee and Ben Baggy and Amanda Zariello, Nick Essemplair, about Derek Nielsen. No less than a dozen of my Platinum Mastermind members last year in 2020 reported to me at some point in the year they were having their best year ever and their best month ever. Okay, and this is also the same things that I know about people like my coach Bedros Keuilian, my good friend Tony Steffen, and other really successful, Ryan Obenesser, really successful people that I know through my mastermind groups and coaching programs. What ties everyone together? Number one, they are quick to implement and execute. Like, ideas are great, but idea that has not been executed or attempted is nothing more than an idea. So if you can be quick to implement your ideas and execute on the tasks at hand without wavering, you will be successful. It's called speed wins, right? I almost got in trouble with that myself this week. I'm trying to fill out an application for one of these like PPP loans, and my the banker's like, yeah, just go ahead and turn it in. Accountant's like, whoa, wait a minute, Aaron, got to make sure that all the numbers are right. I'm like, I'm just trying to get it done as soon as possible. But what you want to do is ask for forgiveness and not for permission. Just take action and execute. Number two, be quick to ask for help when you need it. Like, yeah, you're smart. You can do one or two things really great. Like, I probably know bicycle racing better than you. I might not know treating patients better than you do. I mean, there are people out there that teach how to treatments all day long. I don't do that. And in business, I ask for help. I go to Con Ed courses for treating techniques. I have business coaches. I've taken courses for business. I've used a coach for racing bicycles. Ask for help when you need it, because you'll only get to the destination faster. Because if there's someone that has the information and you can buy it from them or download it from them, you're only going to get there faster and can improve upon the process even sooner. And you'll find success comes to you easily. Well, easily? More easily. Success is what you define it, but it's your goals will arrive faster if you ask for help and implement and execute. And then number three, share your wins and learning. One of the only reasons you're listening to this podcast is because I started sharing with other people what I was doing, how I was making it happen, and what I learned along the way. One of the other more common definitions of learning that people use is failure. Failure is only fatal if you stop taking action. So once you can no longer fail, all you're doing is learning what works and what doesn't. So share what works and share what doesn't. And please share it with me. I mean, if you could share it with me, if there's anything that's helped you, been insightful for you about this podcast, whether it's this episode or any of the other 150 or 60 episodes that we've put out, I would absolutely appreciate if you'd share it with me. Just shout it out, shout me out on a Instagram story and tag me, or in the Cash PT Nation. Share your wins and what you're learning with other people, because you can see it and you can do it, but when you teach it, it's something that's yours forever. Okay, so let me talk about the 4 stages of business. And I've got a really nice little cool graphic that I made. So if you're listening, I hope that you'll be able to visualize this. I'll explain it to you, but maybe you want to pop over to YouTube and check out the video. There's a 4 stages of business. So just imagine there's 4 quadrants, right? Like a not an X, but like a plus sign. And in each quadrant, There's 4 stages of business. So the first stage of business really is E. That's the upper left quadrant. It's not really a stage of business. It's the employee. You have a job. Employees clock in and clock out. And when you leave work, you have no responsibilities because you're off the clock, right? This is like how I was when I was a sous chef at a restaurant. I was a bar back. I was a temp. I clocked in and I clocked out. I was an employee. I've never been an employee as a physical therapist. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be. Some of the most successful people I've worked with were in the employee phase at one point as a physical therapist, and they realized, this sucks. I don't want to do this. I can't do this anymore. Boss doesn't listen to my ideas. I feel underappreciated, underpaid. I'm working really hard, and I can't treat patients the way I want to because I'm being forced to do all, bill a certain way or treat patients a certain way or a certain time period. That's the E. Employee. As an employee, as a physical therapist, you can make somewhere between $56,000 and maybe $150,000. You're really going to get into the 6-figure mark, over 100 when you're working home health, skilled nursing as an employee, maybe some kind of managerial position. But your salary as an employee is tied to reimbursement and how much you can collect, not just charge your patients. And it's not how much you do, it's what the business that you work for, how much they can collect. So if you can't help that business generate more revenue, it's really hard for your boss to give you a raise. Does that make sense? So that's E, employee. Okay, right below it in the bottom left corner is SE, or self-employed. Majority of the people that I know in the Cash PD Nation as small cash practice owners are self-employed. Self-employed isn't a bad thing. And this is different than the business documents you might sign, because you could be self-employed and also still have a form a corporation or an LLC. But you're self-employed if you're the chief bottle washer and physical therapist. There's no one that works for you. What this means is you've basically built yourself a job, which is totally fine. I did this for years. But the limits of self-employed are when you go on vacation, you take a pay cut, because no one else can treat your patients but you. When you're self-employed, if you get sick, the business closes. Like, what if you get COVID for 2 weeks? God, I would hope not. What if when you're pregnant, you want to take maternity leave? If you're self-employed, your patients don't get to see you for like a month or two. So one of my Platinum Mastermind members, Amanda Zariello, and I solved this problem. We started working together October 2019, I think, October 2019. And one of our goals was to grow our business. But 6 months later, when she told me she was pregnant, then what we had to do was shift to figuring out how are we going to make it so she can go on a 2-month maternity leave and still keep her business going, which went from $5,000 to $15,000 in her first 30-45 days. And then, so what we did is we started systemizing and planning to hire someone else. She hired another physical therapist that month. July of 2020 was her best month ever. Her other physical therapist sold $10,000 worth of physical therapy plans of care. And then she was able to go on her 2-month maternity leave and still maintain a business that was growing. So she was no longer self-employed. She moved into the next category, which is business owner. So upper right-hand corner, business owner. This is someone who runs a business, but also employs other people. So physical therapy, if you think about it, well, it's a highly skilled job. It's a highly skilled, highly educated technical job. Okay, a physical therapy, the act of doing physical therapy with someone, treating someone, is the money generating task, and you're the business owner and you're doing it, well, then you're trading time for money. So when you move from self-employed to business owner, you start getting out of the trading time for money trap, because other people that you employ are doing some of these money-making tasks for you. So maybe you hire an admin first, and that saves you an extra hour a day and pays their salary, and now you can get home to your kids earlier. And that's what happened to me. Or you hire a physical therapist first, which is what Ben Baggy did, and he was able to start hiring physical therapists And they were able to start treating more patients and went from like 22,000 a month to 32,000 in about 30 days of working together, and then built up to 65,000 a month without him treating patients at that point. And he was able to take a month off and go open a second location in Southern California because he was getting from into a business owner, but as he started to pull himself out of the business owner and working in the business, he started moving into the last category, which is entrepreneur. So a little bit more about self-employed. If you're self-employed as a physical therapist, you should be able to generate somewhere between 150 to 250 a year based on how many people you want to see and what you charge. When you get into business owner, it really starts to become unlimited. What you can, it's just based on how many patients you can see, what you charge. And when you start seeing less patients, now you start spending more time on growing your business and your systems and doing more marketing, and other people are treating patients. And this is one of the hardest things for people to let go of, is people are coming to see me. So the number one mistake that people in the business owner category make is thinking that they need to see all the patients, and they need to, when they hire another physical therapist, have the other physical therapist in charge of building their caseload. It's not your job to build their caseload. It's your job to offload your patients to these other people. Because when you offload your patients to the other therapists, because you wouldn't hire them if you didn't trust them, what you're doing now is leveraging your time. So this other person can treat that patient for less money than you would pay yourself. So if you're charging $200 an hour and you're self-employed and a patient pay you $200 an hour, great. So you cost $200 an hour. But when you hire Jennifer or John, the other physical therapist, and you pay them, a $70,000, $80,000 a year salary, or let's just say you paid them $100 an hour. I'm just saying for example. Patient pays you $200, you pay that other person $100. You're $100 in the positive minus expenses. Plus you get to use that time to go generate more business. And now you can fill people's schedules even faster because your time is focused on your business growth and systems plus time with your family. Does that make sense? So business owners are people that hire other people and are outside of the time for money trap. They're no longer just trading time for money. You may still be trading some time for money, but not all of it. Okay, so your earning potentials can be really high. I mean, millions of dollars a year, even billions a year. I mean, but how do you get into that next category? What's that fourth category that I'm in, that people like Ben are in, that, people like my coach Bedros are in? It's the fourth category is entrepreneur. It's what I call is entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur and how's that different than a business owner? Well, when you're self-employed, you build yourself a job because you are getting out of a bad situation, a bad, shitty job. As a business owner, you start to create systems and hire other people and leverage your time. But what does an entrepreneur do? An entrepreneur gets to spend their time in their zone of genius, being creative, thinking about multiple ways to generate money. And actually, entrepreneurs generate money with multiple streams of revenue. And not just one business or one service, but multiple services, multiple streams of revenue that do not require any of your time for money. Unless we're talking like an hour of whatever one-on-one time for thousands of dollars. Like we're talking about your time is spent figuring out how do I leverage my time and expertise and other people's time. Like how do I leverage my time so I spend less time working and have other people doing more things for me and taking more responsibility? Because the biggest thing that gives people anxiety about growing their business is the thought, in order to grow my business and make more money, I have to work longer. And that is just absolutely not true. You don't need to work longer or harder. You have to work smarter. And in order to work smarter, sometimes you just have to let go. You have to let go of your ego. You have to drop your ego. You are not the only one that can do this work. There are thousands of other physical therapists out there treating patients who are successful and people love. Like, you're not the only one. And if you can hire someone and they can do 80% as good as you, then that's it. That's all you need to do. Like, can this person do 80% as good of a job as me? Yes. Okay, then get over yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. Hire that other person, because you have to hire the other person to buy back your time. And so you do that, Now you're a business owner. Now to the entrepreneur side, you've got one set of systems running. You go set up another set of systems in another business. So it's maybe two different businesses or two major income streams. You're spending your time every day thinking about like creative ways to help more people. You're leveraging other people's time and ideas and expertise to grow your business and serve your business. And so as an entrepreneur, what you're really doing is you're out there not only taking risks, but you're helping more people grow. You're helping more people and impacting so many more lives than you can just on your own. And as an entrepreneur, that's really where not only can the money grow, but the time grows. You have more and more time because time is fleeting. Time is going away. Money comes and goes. You can just go get a job as a staff physical therapist and make a couple $1,000s next month, like a couple $1,000s in a week even, doing in the right home health job, right? You can always go find more money. If you have a job or you get a paycheck, like your bank account's going to fill up again next week. If you lose your job, then you just go find another job. If you can't find another job, you start a business or you go on Social Security or unemployment, and you're still going to get money. But your time is the thing that's always going away. So if you have kids, or maybe you're 28 and you're a cyclist, and the peak in racing bikes is somewhere around 30 years old, and you haven't yet got that pro contract. You've got a few more years left. And if you're 28 without a pro contract like I was, you're probably not going to get one. And it's just as simple as it is. Like, I didn't get a pro contract. I was close. I was like the best person on my amateur team, but everyone else was younger than me, and they brought in 3 older pros. So those were the rules. That's what people do. I was in Belgium in 26, and the guy's like, "Why are you here? You're too old." I was like, I don't know, this is explicit label on this episode, but I was like, fuck you, man. I was like, I'm here pursuing my passion and my dream. Right? And went all in. Like, I moved all my stuff to Belgium. I ate pasta and carrots, celery, and tuna fish. Pretty much every meal for 2 months. And I raced bikes. And the only time I would get myself a hamburger from the stand was if I could finish at least half of the race. And then I would get a greasy hamburger and some frites. And occasionally I had enough money to go get a beer. So I want you to know, which stage are you? Are you employed, self-employed? Are you in the business owner stage, or are you in the entrepreneur stage? Or are you just on the cusp of the next one? And what's it going to take for you to move into the next phase? So generally people get into my course, the Cash PT Blueprint, when they want to go from employed to self-employed. Sometimes people are already self-employed and they'll get in that program. And then it's my Platinum Mastermind. It's designed to help people go from self-employed to employed to entrepreneur. Even when you go to the entrepreneurs, when I do more private coaching and like a 12-month mentorship. Like, that's how I've done it. Because I went through those stages, and I utilized a couple different programs and coaches to get through there. And it's my job to just bring a couple other people along with me. And if you know where you are, then it's really easy to see the path to where you want to be. You have to have your goals, right? And we've done goal setting before. So if you know where you want to go, now we got to know where you are. Now, hopefully you know exactly where you are. Now we can really build your roadmap to getting there. So what I want to do before we finish is go through the 8 core strategies to 10x your business in 2021. Number 1, you're going to schedule your social media calendar. I mean, instead of just willy-nilly posting randomly on Instagram or Facebook, sit down and pick like 3 different types of posts for the week. Start with 3 days a week. Okay, Mondays is a motivation, winning Wednesdays, like feature a successful client or patient, and Fridays is like, what are you thankful for? Or here's something else, like a transformation. And then you can later on add a Tuesday or Thursday, and then you can add multiple posts. But if you schedule it out, okay, these days or these types of posts, I'm going to schedule it out. I'm going to pick a topic, and I'm going to sit down and use something like Hootsuite, and I'm going to schedule out the whole month in advance, and you can do that in an hour, maybe 2 hours max. Schedule out the whole month. Now the whole month's done, and you can go focus on other things. Schedule out your social media calendar. People ask me all the time, Aaron, how do you do all that? You're killing it at Instagram. I'm like, well, number one, we've got a schedule and we know what we're posting every day. We do it ahead and I don't do it. I leverage my time. This is what Brenna does so well for us is she does our social media posting and she doesn't do it every day. She sits down and once every week or two, she'll schedule out all our posts. Number two, adopt a daily routine. Most successful entrepreneurs I know have a daily routine. And just because you pick a daily routine that works right now doesn't mean you have to stick to it forever. Case in point, I had a great routine this summer. You know, it was COVID, kids weren't going to summer camp. I'd wake up at 6, go work out, come have breakfast. Everyone was chilling out and I get into work at like 8:30, something like that. It's fine. We didn't have to rush off to school. It was good. And school started back for us in like October. And it started getting cold and that didn't really work out and the kettlebells were too cold to hold on to. And I had to switch it up. It took me about a month to figure it out, but now it's wake up at 5:30, come into work for a couple hours, go home, help the kids get to school, come back to work, then go home and work out right before lunch at like 11:30 or 12. And I did that today and it's great. And in the past, when I work out in the evening where I had my schedule, like a year ago, there was a CrossFit gym I would go to like 2 or 3 days a week and it was convenient and I would go after work on Mondays and Fridays and I'd work out with my buddy John early in the morning on Thursdays and do my other things on the weekend. And that was a great one. It worked at the time. I mean, you just got to shift it and stick to a schedule. If you have a daily routine, even things like knowing what clothes you're going to wear, it reduces your decision fatigue. You don't have to make decisions based on little small things. It's the same reason Barack Obama has the same blue suit he wears all the time. It's why Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook is always wearing blue jeans and a white t-shirt. They don't have to decide what clothes to wear. They just have like 1,000 copies of the same stuff. It's decision fatigue. And once you get into the entrepreneur category, you're going to find that you just don't want to make decisions. You just want someone else to pick where you go for dinner and you'll be totally fine with it. If you adopt a daily routine, you start to reduce your decision fatigue and improve your productivity. Next one is a marketing idea. Look, okay, so in-person doesn't really work right now, or some places it does, but everyone's online. So how can you run an online workshop and not keep people on there for an hour? How can you do it in like 20 minutes, even 15 minutes? What's a little mini online workshop that you can create? People are online. I've talked to so many people this year like, I just don't do social media. I'm like, get on the social media. You have to do social media. And one of my Platinum Mastermind members, just Jenny, is crushing it in with her online business, helping other physical therapists and travelers and even people launch telehealth businesses. And I was like, you got to get online and do this. And so she's doing it and getting online and running her workshops and even this redoing a webinar that she's done before. She's crushing it because she's online doing something that's valuable for people out of her comfort zone and just growing tremendously. And there's other people who I know, like, you don't like social media. So you can't let social media use you. You got to use it. And so take your marketing and put it in front of people. Like, yes, the most powerful thing you can do is talk to someone face to face. But right now, when you can't get in front of someone face to face, or even if it's just the winter and it's cold, get comfortable giving value and sharing what you know and creating offers on the internet. Because you're listening to this podcast, so you're on the internet somewhere. So get comfortable using it for your business too. And reactivate old patience. So look, everyone comes to me and say, Aaron, the number one problem I have is I need new patients. I want to know, where do I get new patients? New patients, new patients, new patients. All I want is new patients. You know, all these Facebook ads, marketer guys, all they want to do is bring you new patients. Every day I get emails, can you handle new patients? I'm like, I don't want your new patients. What I want to do is reactivate my old patients. Because someone who's bought from you is 80 times more likely to buy from you again than someone who's never bought from you. So people who've already done business with you are more likely to do business with you again in the future. So figure out, how do you get those people who you've helped with their back pain, understand that you know how to help them with their knee pain or their neck too. So I've had a ton of people say, Dr. LeBauer, I didn't know you also worked on shoulders. I'm like, yep, I do. Like, what led you to believe that Well, just because you were here for your back and I have a back pain book doesn't mean I can't help you with your shoulder, because I do that with people all the time. Vice versa, the person can come in and say, you helped me with my shoulder so much, I can't believe I didn't realize you could help people with their back. I'm like, I can. Reactivate your old patients, because by reaching out to your old patients, keeping in touch with them using email marketing, not just newsletters, but sending regular emails and blogs and even creating a private Facebook group for them, is a way to keep people in your circle buying from you over and over again. Because if you have an iPhone right now, I guarantee you've already had an iPhone before. This isn't your first iPhone. Or maybe if this is your first iPhone, how many Android phones did you have? And were they from this? Did you have 2 Samsungs? Or a Motorola? Did you have a Motorola Razr and then you got another Motorola until the Samsung took over? Like, you've bought more things from the same companies before because you trust them. Your patients are going to do the exact same. I'm going to get back to efficiency. So time block your schedule. The next strategy to 10x is to time block your schedule. We've kind of touched on this, but this is where you have a daily routine. You're pre-scheduling your social media, and now you know, okay, on Tuesdays, I just work on my business. Specifically at Tuesday at 12, I'm on a coaching call with Aaron, or Tuesday at 4, I'm on a coaching call with my coach. Tuesday in the morning, I'm working on creating videos for my clinic. Wednesday in the morning, I'm creating videos for the coaching business. Mondays, I have meetings with my team members. Tuesday at 2, I have a meeting with Amber. Thursday at 2, I have a meeting with Caitlin. Thursday at 11 a.m., I have a meeting with Brenna and Delisa. And I know what I'm doing every day. Yes, the time will come and I'll move things around, or I maybe not get something done because something else took a little bit longer. But if you take your schedule and you block out time to work on certain things and not just your patients, you're going to improve your efficiency tremendously. Urson Religioso is the person that I know who uses this like really well. And he'll only check Facebook at a specific time for a specific 30 minutes, and then he's off of it. And he only will do things at certain times of the week. And this guy is so efficient. He's like, he works part-time and he's got a massive business. And is so much more success like selling like online store and merchandise and teaching and running Facebook ads. He does a ton. And he's so efficient because he schedules his time and he schedules his tasks. The next one is take action daily. We talked about this as one of the 3 things that most successful business owners do is take action. So take action daily. Do something every day to move you one step closer to your goals. Hire help and buy back your time. We talked about this in building out what stage of entrepreneur you are. But think about this. When you're hiring, when you're paying other people, whether to work for you or to help you because you know you need help, what you are doing is you're buying back your time. It's either hiring the physical therapist to treat for you. So instead of being able to treat 26 patients a week, maybe now your clinic sees 50 or 65 patients in a week because you've hired other people. And now you can see 3 times as many people without seeing them all at the same time in that 1 hour. Hire help. Like, hiring coaches for me isn't just like paying someone for advice, it's buying speed. Just like I bought my degree. I went to Elon, I got a degree. It didn't really matter where I went, but I went to the closest place that I could get through the fastest, and that was Elon. And basically I was just buying the DR period in front of my name, right? I'm buying speed. Working with Bedros, I'm buying speed because I want to get there faster. I don't want to waste time. So think about this. Your time is so much more valuable. What can you do every day to take action to get more time? And as you get more time, you get more money, you get more meaning, and you have more impact. And the last one is commit to working with a coach and surrounding yourself with people who are on the same path as you. So to me, working with a coach means working with someone who's where I want to be, and surrounding myself with people, so belonging to a mastermind, like the Empire Mastermind is, and going out to conferences. Like right now, I'm not going to conferences, but what do I do instead is I'm in groups, like a coaching group with people who are on the same path as me or actually ahead of me. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. When I'm paying to be somewhere, I want to be low man on the totem pole. I want to be there to learn because success leaves clues and speed wins. And I want to get there. So if you can commit to doing that, because I know if you were ever an athlete, you worked with a coach. And I know if you were listening to this and you're a physical therapist, you had a clinical instructor, a CI. So commit to going all in on your business just like you did on your career. And when you do that, you'll be massively successful. Because you need a reason why, don't you agree? Like, you need to know exactly, like, why is this worth it? Getting through all this effort and work and frustration and burnout. You need a reason why. I know my reason why. Do you know what your reason why is? So here's what I want to know right now. What's your 90-day win? Okay, here's how we're going to build it. What's your 90-day win? What has to happen for you in the next 90 days? Okay, so think about this right now. You can, if you're not driving, close your eyes. If you're driving, think about this. Pretend like you're closing your eyes. Let's say I teach you everything I know and do everything I can, and we help you get some results. Now I want you to fast forward even just a year from now. Okay? Looking back over that year, what has happened in your life personally and professionally? So with you and your family, you and your, hobbies, sports, activities. What's happened for you personally and professionally in your business or career so that you just feel happy with your progress and satisfied with your results? So what are those things? Like, is it earning a certain amount of money? Is it buying a boat, house, going on a vacation? Is it, I want to go from 10 patients a week to 25. I want to hire 5 people and generate, $500,000 a year, et cetera. What's your 1 year goal? Okay. Now, if you know your 1 year goal, now what do we need to do to get, what's your 90-day win? What has to happen in the next 90 days or 3 months to make sure that you're on target for your 1 year goal? This is a podcast and I can talk you through this. And I spend hours working on this stuff. I'll sit down and do some journaling and I'll map out my 1 year impossible goals. I know my 10-year goals and I'll work it backwards. So from 1 year, I know what I need to do in the next 90 days. I already have my plan. I know what I need to do in the next 90 days. I need to get 250 people to join me at PT BizCon this year. And that's my big 90-day goal. It's my big 90-day win. And what's that going to do? It's my family win is that we get a vaccine and we feel like we can go travel more and go out and do some more things. I mean, I'll probably after PT BizCon take a week off and we'll go to the beach or the mountains anyways, and even if it's we don't want to go out, we'll do that. So we'll go on a family vacation or even a family camping trip in the van again. So I know what my 90-day win looks like. Now, in order for me to get there, I know exactly what I need to do every day because I have it mapped out. If you don't have it mapped out, that's okay. What do you need to do right now? What's your 90-day win? And now what do you need to do after you finish listening to this episode to start making progress towards your 90-day win? So here's what I want to know is what was most helpful. So number one, you just answer this in your head. What was the most helpful thing or most insightful thing from this podcast so far? And you know what? I would totally appreciate it if you could share it, tag me on Instagram, and I'll reshare it or whatever, or send it as a DM on Instagram. I really would love to know what was most helpful for this. And if you're so inclined, you want to leave it as a 5-star rating and review for the podcast, that would be incredible. It would mean a ton to me. It means more people get to hear this podcast and more people get help and get on the path to crushing their goals. So now, what are your action steps? We've talked about this, but what are the very first things you need to do besides sharing? What do you need to do to get this 90-day win? What kind of action do you need to take? How many patients do you need to get? What phone calls do you need to take? What systems do you need to build? What decisions do you need to just make and get off the fence? Sometimes the biggest action you can take is just getting off the damn fence. So speaking of coaching, I just want to give a shout out to all the people that I've helped over the last few years. But it's really I haven't helped them. They've helped me. To me, getting on my coaching calls is the highlight of my day. So when I did our twice a month, our second power call and Q&A for the Platinum Mastermind Tuesday, I just finished. And I was like, man, this just made my day. It does. It makes my day. I love it because I get to spend time with people who are passionate and driven and they want to help other people and they do it genuinely and authentically. And it's just awesome. So if you're one of my Platinum Mastermind members, current or past, or one of my other coaching clients in the Cash PT Blueprint, or even if you're in the Cash PT Nation, or you're just living it, I appreciate you a ton. And if I haven't shared it with you in the past, I want to share it with you right now. Because it's one of the most fun things we do. And if you're watching on YouTube or the blog, you see we get together 3 times a year generally pre-COVID to eat food and steaks, which is one of my passions, is eating food. And in the picture is a huge tomahawk steak, and this is from out in San Diego. But I just enjoy getting together with people, and right now we don't get together in person, but we get together in our virtual boardroom, which is basically strategy number 3 that I shared with you, is get together with people and create a unique experience online. That's the running online workshops, because people need to connect with you and they want to connect with you. And if you connect with them in any way you can right now, rather than not connecting with them, they're going to be grateful for you and for the connection. So this is a special invitation I want to extend to you right now. Is an invitation for you to join us at PT BizCon 2021. Yeah, maybe you thought I was going to, ask you to come coach with me. No, I just want you to come to PT BizCon. It's a 2-day live interactive event for passionate and driven physical therapy entrepreneurs who want to scale their business, their brand, and their impact. We had 192 people at PT BizCon last year. We had 160 or 70 something, and then we moved it online right when COVID hit, and we had another 25 people come, which was awesome. It was amazing. We had Friday of PT BizCon, was it Friday or Saturday, where Greg Todd was the guest speaker in that zone. We had like 2,000 comments on the Facebook Live that we did with PT BizCon. It was nuts. We had some amazing speakers. And I've got some amazing speakers this year, because so many of you told me after PT BizCon what impact it had for you. And even though everyone's struggling this year and it's a lot of work to put together, I decided we had to do it again. And so we're putting together PT BizCon 2021, and it is going to be a 2-day live and interactive. This isn't going to be just any old webinar. If you've been on my webinars, it's not going to be the same nearly at all. It's going to be very different. I've got a lot of things in the works. I've put thousands of dollars into like a studio and creating an amazing event. We're going to be giving away thousands of dollars worth of cash and swag prizes. And we're going to have, we've got 9 amazing international guest speakers coming to speak to you and share their knowledge and wisdom. So how do you get a ticket for PT BizCon? Well, you're just going to go to www.ptbizcon.com. That's like PT, like physical therapist, biz, BIZCON.com. You probably went there last year. Maybe you've checked out the recording from last year and haven't decided to buy it this year. There's some amazing special bonuses. I want you to go to the page, ptbizcon.com. If you need a link, you can go to the show notes later, but you can just tell Siri or Alexa to take you there as well. Check out all the amazing bonuses and specials we've got for people that get their early bird tickets and VIP tickets. And I'm excited to see you on the show. And I'm stoked that you spent this time with me on the podcast and you've been a part of our podcast success. We just passed 100,000 download mark a few weeks ago. And so I'm sure we're over that by the time you're listening to this episode. So I really, really appreciate you for listening, for downloading it, and for sharing it, and for going out there and doing what's right for your patients. Because when you work for patients, the money's going to follow the success and impact that you want to make, and the meaning and the reason you became a physical therapist is going to just be there for you. So thank you guys so much. This is Aaron LeBauer for the Cash PT Lunch Hour. I'll see you at PT BizCon. Give me a shout out over on Instagram, and please tell your friends, colleagues, coworkers, and anyone else you know who needs to hear this. Please share it with them and invite them to join us at PT BizCon, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks so much.